Okay, I might not even have highlighted this if it wasn't for me definitively proving that they're running a psych op on me with um, my mom's unwitting admission about, you know, the chemical fumes in the room, and the phone hijacking, which, you know, was spelling out messages to me and so on. And, you know, the countless interviews that I have that prove it and so on. If it wasn't for me definitively proving this was going on, I wouldn't even bring this up. The pictures I'm showing you are of some family that I thought may be Jewish. You know, I think they're Jews trying to pass for white, but I don't really know, you know. Maybe they're just some sort of white ethnicity that is similar to Jews, like Greeks or certain Italian groups, perhaps. Um, but, you know, for whatever reason, I'm going to leave one of them out of it. And I'm just going to say it's more of a mindfuck than you think. But, you know, back, when was it? I think it was 2015, beginning of the year, something like that, when the challenger accepted the challenge, okay, the last challenger. That's the first picture you see. The next picture you see is the guy who said, under the UFC posting. Now, on his page, he has Ronda Rousey UFC posting, and he also has another picture I'm going to put on the screen that implies that he's a white nationalist who takes offense at the idea that minorities are called minorities, which gives them special privileges in the eyes of the white nationalists. So you can imagine what type of people take offense to this. Judging by all the white people in his pictures and living in Southern California, by a beach. It might even be in Orange County. I'm going to double check that. But Orange County has the highest concentration of skinheads. I mean, when you do the math, yeah, you know, it's almost certainly he's a white nationalist, to put it lightly. Okay, it's also important to note that what I don't have proof of is when I uploaded the video about the Draw Muhammad contest, I think on my Robot channel, this guy came by me on the road and he was like, you know, I didn't know it was a dead end, whoop-de-whoop, because he flipped a U-turn. It was like, you know, right by the sign for the private road. And he said, oh, do you live here? And I was like, yes. He's like, where? And then he drove away and said, don't worry, they just want you to think that they're coming after you. Okay, so then, you know, and I've covered that in my videos time and time again. In fact, last night, you know, I can get another female on record. I can get the interview right now. I talked to her on the phone last night about that happening, you know, about this guy who said, they just want you to think that they're coming for you. And he was like this tall, bald, white guy. I could tell he was tall even though he was in his white pickup truck, his old kind of white pickup truck. And so now this guy asked me for my address under that video. Okay, you see all the connections here? Now there's one more connection. This guy at Little Caesars, when my pizza was drugged, he had a tattoo of like some kind of pagan Norse tattoo, or maybe a Greek god, maybe it's Zeus, maybe it's Odin, I don't know what it is, but he had it on his forearm. And during that period of time, somebody, I don't know who, when I was driving by the road with the windows open in my car, which I often do because, well, it's a long story about that, he said that, take the video down or I'm going to have to hurt you. And I assume it was connected to him being working at Little Caesars, he looks even more like the last challenger, the guy in the blue shirt, than this other guy, or the guy with the beanie does. The recent guy who left a subtle death threat when he said, what's your address? You know, once you truly combine everything together, you know, it was a death threat. It was a threat of serious bodily injury. Now, obviously, I'm not complaining to the cops or anything like that. I don't believe in that. I'm a warrior. You know, I believe in killing people and defending myself and what have you. So it's been about an hour, I think, you know, and he hasn't responded about, you know, I said, well, if you want to accept the challenge, this, that, and the other thing. But, you know, that was me being very courteous and cordial and considerate and what have you. It really was above and beyond the call of duty because, you know, he didn't ask about accepting the challenge or what gym or what park or anything like that. He jumped to the conclusion of, Or he jumped to saying, well, what's your address? And this was in a targeted individual group. And so I messaged a female real quick, and she said, yes, it does look like him. He looks like he's in the Navy or something. And if you noticed in the Challengers pic, he's in a picture with American flag, which is something the military does a lot more often than average citizens, especially people who are, military age and what have you. And the Challenger was about 5'6", 165 pounds, which is, you know, pretty typical for a soldier or something of that nature. Now, as far as the weight and the build, so I'm gonna leave it there, and the pictures should speak for themselves. One last thing, there was this pickup truck on the road, this black pickup truck with two prison-looking white guys. When you've dealt with the streets and the system and whatnot, you can tell these kind of bigger white guys, who look like they are battle worn, for lack of a better term. They were blocking the street. The guy kind of put his hand out to stop, and then he waved me by. And it was in a way that didn't make sense. Why did he choose to turn around in the middle of the street? Why did he choose to, have his car sideways on the street, just parked there when I came around the corner? They're showing me beyond any doubt that they're following me. And now that I have more and more proof, I have a lot more definitive proof than any TI I've ever come across. I mean, there's no way around it. You know that there's something going on. And when you listen to my descriptions of it and you see the proofs bringing credence to the other things that I'm saying, you know that it must be a psyop. You know it's an unholy alliance of vested interest. Thank you.